What if we became a Type 2 civilization? We use a lot of energy every day, from lighting our homes to powering our cars. Right now, we get most of our energy from Earth, like burning oil or using wind. There's a big idea called the Kardashev scale that measures how advanced civilizations are by the amount of energy they can use. Right now, we're at the beginning of this scale because we only use energy from our planet. So what would happen if we became a Type 2 civilization? What we know about civilizations. For starters, civilization is a complex human society that may have certain characteristics of cultural and technological development. It's a way humans measure how far they've made their lives better over a period of time. Since our earliest beginnings, we've evolved from the discovery of fire to the invention of the internet. Now, where do we stand in the grand scheme of things? Scholars offer different systems to classify and measure a civilization. These systems attempt to predict and direct the advancement of science and technology beyond the boundaries of their planet. Basic classification systems include the Kardashev scale, the Barrow scale, the Ivanov modification system, and the Zubrin scale. A Type 2 civilization is a civilization group by the Kardashev system based on energy consumption. As we all know, the history of humankind is, amongst others, a history of ever-increasing energy consumption. We all depend on energy for our daily lives, our prosperity, and luxury. However, we can't talk about the Kardashev scale without mentioning Nikolai Kardashev, a Soviet astronomer who proposed this method. Now, the Kardashev classification system is based solely on the metric of energy consumption. It is based on the premise that all civilizations rely on energy to support their population and society, and that advancing civilization would continuously increase their energy consumption. The scale ranges from Type 1 to Type 3 and beyond. What stage is the Earth? On the Kardashev scale, the lowest level of civilization can harness all the energy available on its planet. Considering today's world, characterized by absolute dependence on non-renewable energy sources and limited renewable energy sources, we are behind the Kardashev scale. So where are we? Carl Sagan proposed the Earth is a Type 0 civilization due to our energy production, mainly through the use of non-renewable sources within a planet. For planet Earth, non-renewable sources include fossil fuels, coal, nuclear reactions, and limited renewable sources like hydroelectric power and solar. The Earth's energy production is less than 25 TW, representing a scale of 0.7 on the Kardashev scale. Considering the massive innovations that seem like the peak of our current civilization, what limitation does Type 1 promise to overcome? Possibilities within Type 1 civilization. Type 1 civilization is a civilization that has discovered and maximized all the energy within its environment. For humans, that is planet Earth. Recently, in the United Arab Emirates, artificial rain was generated by cloud seeding. In a Type 1 civilization, such occurrences of controlling natural events would be common. Aside from inducing clouds for rainfall, we will be able to control earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, etc. Have you heard of the Bible story? How man was made to dominate and lose his dominion. A Type 1 civilization gives us back that dominion. We will no longer be at the mercy of Mother Nature. In short, the Earth will be under our feet. Now, considering the massive power Type 1 presents, how would our lives be in Type 2? When we no longer dwell within the confines of our planet, when we have ascended into the realms of the galaxies, what would we be like in Type 2? God? Aliens? Or another phenomenon the universe has never seen? What if we became a Type 2 civilization? According to the Kardashev scale, a Type 2 civilization entails the direct consumption of the closest star energy through the use of a Dyson sphere. The closest star to the Earth is the Sun. Advancing to Type 2 civilization implies a complete energy source from the Sun. How? Presently, the Earth is over 90 million miles away from the Sun, yet we feel its radiation and impacts that is a major differentiator between night and day. Statistics revealed that just a billionth of the Sun's total energy gets to the Earth, and of the billionth, more than half is absorbed by the ozone layer. Another scientific research found out that of the little portion of the Sun's radiation, we receive enough to last a year within 1 hour of daily radiation. Sadly, we are yet to capture it all. So instead of less than 1 billionth share, in Type 2 we will have access to all the sun's energy. Isn't that fantasy? Since it's impossible to reach the sun, how do we access its full energy? That's when the Dyson sphere comes into play. In 1960, physicist Freeman S. Dyson proposed the use of orbiting solar collectors to accomplish this feat. The Dyson sphere involves a loose collection or swarms of objects traveling on different orbits around the sun. The objects are solar collectors that orbit around the sun to store the energy radiated from it. It was proposed a Dyson sphere can be the size of the Earth's orbit away from the sun. That is over 90 million miles in diameter. Would that be possible? Building such a megastructure demands great engineering skills and expertise plus resources that would be sourced outside of Earth. The famous Titanic took its engineers over 3 years, and that's an inch compared to a Dyson sphere. How many years? Maybe a millennium to build just one. Constructing a Dyson sphere would require the use of millions of highly intelligent and regenerating robots that exceed present-day industrial capacities. Type 2 civilization would surpass Type 1 by a factor of 10 billion watts. What's more crazy? Though we talked about harnessing the sun's energy, Type 2 civilization doesn't stop there. There would be a gradual progression to harness other stars till we can harvest the whole galaxy's energy. Then we can achieve Type 3 civilization. The technology remains the same. Build a swarm of Dyson spheres around a star and move on to the next up to the last star in the galaxy. As much as we would love to be alive to witness such great feats, sadly we would all be gone. But how would thousands of generations from now be at a Type 2 civilization? Would they be immortal or evolved to another superior species? Humans in Type 2 civilization? Well, from the ages when humans wore leaves as clothing to our present day of fancy and expensive clothing, we can say for sure humans in Type 2 civilization would live a better life compared to ours. Centuries ago, people in existence would never believe the technological feats achieved so far. Would they believe a massive body like an aircraft would be moving over the sky, or sophisticated gadgets facilitating the transfer of data from one point to another in a twinkle of an eye? If you were to be alive then, you wouldn't believe it. So how would life be in Type 2? For one, a Type 2 being, short for humans in Type 2 civilization, would be very far from today's human beings. The science of transhumanism would have improved. Transhumanism is the philosophy and science that advocates the enhancement of human body parts for better efficiency. In Type 2 civilization, with the amount of energy at our disposal, we would be able to carry out such sophisticated medical procedures, leading to a more intelligent and strong human being. For example, cyborg implants are tools that can enhance body parts like joints and muscles. They are last and removable for maintenance. Also, brain power can be increased by a zillion through the use of microchips implanted into the brain. Furthermore, the human senses can be enhanced. We have seen sci-fi movies like Kyle Xai and Smallville that portray human beings having super body features. These would be possible in Type 2 civilization. Then Type 2 beings would have implants that will aid better hearing, perhaps meters away, ability to filter out unpleasant odors from small urban decay, and only experience pleasant odor. Unlike seeing with the microscope, our eyes can be enhanced to let us see microscopic objects. Space exploration would be possible. For centuries, human beings have seen and noticed the presence of stars in the sky. Some, with the aid of a telescope, have been able to have a closer look, but unfortunately, we are unable to get closer. In the late 1900s, great innovations were built to navigate the space. These are popularly called spacecrafts. However, these massive human creations are limited in speed, since it would take 4.3 light-years to reach the closest stars. So far, the fastest spacecraft, called Voyager, can only attain a speed of 15 miles per second. At that speed, it would take the Voyager 80,000 years to reach the closest star. A major limitation is the chemical-based rocket fuel for propulsion. The fuel is inefficient, as only 1 kilogram of it is capable of generating just a milligram worth of energy. To generate enough energy that would last a space exploration implies storing more quantities of the fuel. Now that would add weight to the rocket, which in turn limits its speed. Pursuing a more efficient fuel to power space exploration would be needed to increase spacecraft speeds. In February 2022, researchers at Penn Engineering announced they discovered a new and more durable spacecraft called the solar sail. The solar sail can travel at 20% of the speed of light, but depends on the sun for its energy. That brings us to Type 2 civilization. In Type 2, we will have access to the sun's energy. Developing efficient spacecraft would be easy, and hence, space exploration would be possible. One thing is sure, in Type 2 civilization, our sci-fi movies would become our realities. Before we wrap up, we want to hear from you. Would you like to be alive in a Type 2 civilization? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.